warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, welcome back to channel Natasha Putri. In this video, I will explain how to configure the IP DHCP Pool. IP Pool is one of the features contained in mikrotik to determine the IP rank that can be used for both the DHCP server. The function of the IP pool on the DHCP server is to provide limits to the router regarding the IP address that will be given by the client. The following is the topology used in this material. Here, the router is used to act as a DHCP server that has determined the IP rank will be shared by the client, and the laptop here functions as a client that will get the IP address automatically according to the predetermined rank. Just go into the configuration. First, open the Winbox application. Click MAC address to remote router, and if ready, click connect. Next, check the interface used for the DHCP with the command interface print. It appears that the Ether2 interface is used for the DHCP server because have are synced. Next, add the IP address for Ether2 using command IP address add address. In here, I use address is 26.26.26.1/24 use interface Ether2. Then check the IP address using command IP address print. In here, it can be seen that the IP is 26.26.26.1/24 and network is 26.26.26.0 use interface Ether2. Then configure the IP pool to make its IP rank to the DHCP server. With the command IP pool add name. For IP pool, in here I use name Natalvi. Ranks is 26.26.26.20 until 26.26.26.25. In here, I just 5 clients to connect from the DHCP server. To see the result of the IP pool configuration, you can use command IP pool print. It can be seen name for IP pool is Natalvi and ranks is 26.26.26.20 until 26.26.26.25. Then add the IP pool for the DHCP server so that the router can limit the number of IP addresses that will be shared with client by using the address pool that was previously created and directed to the interface used. With the command IP DHCP server, add name for DHCP is in here I use Natasha and address pool I use Natalvi. Interface use Ether2. To check the DHCP server configuration result, use the command IP DHCP server print. Here, it can be seen that DHCP use name Natasha and interface use ether2 for address pool in use natal v and release time is 10 minutes. In here, the DHCP server has been disabled. To activate the DHCP server, use the command IP DHCP server enable number 0. If we check again with the command IP DHCP server print, the server is already enabled because don't have access. Next, configure the network for the DHCP server with the command IP DHCP server network at address is network address, namely 26.26.0/24 and gateway is 26.26.26.1 and netmask is /24 is 255.255.255.0 and DNS server is DNS from Google is h.h.h.h. Next, to see the configuration result, you type command IP DHCP server network print. In here, it seems that we have successfully configured the IP DHCP server network. With use address is 26.26.26.0/24 and gateway 26.26.26.1 and DNS server is h.h.h.h. Next, open the network connection. Then choose change adapter option and right-click port interface use, choose properties and here choose Internet Protocol version 4. Here make sure that the setting on IP version 4 on the client are obtained and IP address automatically, so that the client can get the IP address automatically from the DHCP server. And close. Next, we'll look at the network connection detail on client. Click status, and here click details. You can see that the client we are using has got an IP address is 26.26.26.25/24 and default gateway is 26.26.26.1 and DNS server is h.h.h.h. According to some configuration previous, it can be close, back to Winbox. Check the client that is connected to the DHCP server by using command IP DHCP server. This is print. Here it can be seen that the client connect using address 26.26.26.25 and hostname is laptop is device in iOS and server in use Natasha and status is bound and flag is D means dynamic. Next, perform testing. In here, I use CMD application. Press Windows plus R, type CMD, and type command ping IP gateway is 26.26.26.1. You can see here that the result is a reply, which means that the client is connected to the dhcp server using the IP pool. In the end of my explanation regarding IP DHCP pool, more or less sorry. See you in next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.